Hello and welcome to this segment of Value Added. I'm your Burnco Assessor, Damian Lara. We get a lot of questions from people asking, what is a property improvement district or a PID? This is important information because PIDs pay for things like streets, parks, and other public facilities. Here with me to discuss more on PIDs and more importantly, what they mean to the average property owner in Bernalillo County is Chief Appraiser Fabian Montoya. Fabian, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Assessor Lara, for having me on your segment.
I really appreciate it. So let's start with the really basics. What is a PID?
Well, in summary, a PID is, the purpose of a PID is to finance infrastructure improvements pretty much set by the developer. A lot of those examples, like you mentioned now in the opening, so for sewer systems, drainage and flood control, streets, trails, and such other things like parks.
Why is it so important that a homeowner pay attention to their PID?
I think not only the homeowners that are in a PID district, it's important to know. It's important if you're on a budget, because this is something else that you're going to have to save for throughout the year, because it does come up on the tax bill, although the Office of the Assessor does not assess this, so this is not a part of our assessment records. I think another important part is if you're looking to purchase a home and you know that you've qualified for a certain market value, and you've estimated the tax bill, but another important factor is that you're estimating that PID if this property is within one of those boundaries.
Okay, so it's important to know when you're purchasing a property. Is it also important to know how long this PID lasts and what happens if a person wants to try and sell their property?
Absolutely. So some of these PIDs I've seen go the length of a mortgage. So some of these can be up to 30 years. I've seen some that are 15 years, and they could also be renewed by their governing body if they ask for an extension. As far as selling the property, this is where it gets interesting, is if it's a 30-year PID, let's say I own the property. I've owned the property for 10 years, and now I'm going to sell my property. The new owner would then take up the remaining years left on that PID. So if I've put 10 years into it, the new owner will then pay the remaining 20 years of that PID.
But the governing body can always renew that for an additional term of years.
That is true. Yes, that is correct. So it is up to the governing body, so that's also important that you do know your PID name and who the board is, so you could contact them with any additional questions, as our office doesn't maintain those sets of information.
And for a PID, is there anybody that would be exempt from paying these PID assessments?
Yes, the disabled veteran. So we have a 100% disabled veteran exemption in our office, and they are completely relieved of their taxes. So that would go the same for them if they're within a PID boundary or PID district. They would not pay towards that PID, as well as not paying towards a tax bill.
Fabian, this is incredibly important information, especially for homeowners who are looking to purchase or sell their home and making sure that they're in a PID. Thank you so much for that information.
You're very welcome.
Just like Fabian said, our office does not assess special assessment districts such as PIDs, but we do maintain and publish PID info and maps. So if you are looking to buy a home and you want to find out if it's in a public improvement district, you can go online to burnco.gov/assessor. You will be able to find and see if the property you are buying is in a PID. And remember, you can always call our office directly at 505-222-3700 or drop by in person at 415 Silver Southwest in downtown Albuquerque. That's all the time we've got for today. I'm your Burnco Assessor, Damian Lara, and we'll see you here next time on Value Added.